Hello everyone, welcome to Desert Succulents Q&A. And the first question is all about our Cordifolia actinia. And it says, ask ko lang po bakit yung sunrose ko di siya nagkakabulaklak pero mga healthy naman mga leaves niya at malago na. Thanks po. This is now an update of our baby sunrose na nilagay nga dito sa ating Buddha na head planter. And as you would see, ang dami niya ng bagong offsets and new growth. Ganyan yung itsura ng kanyang mga new offsets. It's gonna be this parang lighter yellow-green na color. And although na malago na siya and very healthy naman yung ating baby sunrose, up to now, hindi pa rin siya nagkaroon ng kanyang flower, and that's gonna be normal. They also need some time to adjust sa kanilang new pot, just in case you repotted them, or sa kanilang new environment before they can finally na mag-flower. Kasi for example here, it doesn't look healthy, pero every morning nag-start na siyang mag-bloom. Ganito yung kanyang flower. We are currently shooting sa gabi, that's why yung kanyang flower has already closed, but in the morning I noticed na nag-start na nga siyang mag-bloom. It's just a matter of patiently waiting until nga na mag-bloom na yung ating baby sunrose. Sir, pag nag-replant po ng turtle vine, di po pwede na wet ang soil. And yes, here we have our turtle vine. Ito yung na-feature natin sa ating vlog before. Ganito na siya kalago. Yan na siya. Yan yung original na pot niya. If you are planning of replanting nga itong ating turtle vine, it would be better if ilalagay nyo sila sa isang dry soil as compared sa ating wet soil, since they are still considered as a succulent. And we are just trying to avoid nga na mabulok or masira sila once we try to replant it. Nakaka-sunburn ba ang growlights, sir? Definitely yes. Pag masyadong malapit yung inyong growlights sa inyong mga succulent, then it could possibly give you growlight burn. That's the reason why you have to check your succulents. Yung pinaka-ideal na distance from our growlights to our succulents is about 10 to 12 inches. What growlight brand do you recommend? For this one, I would recommend syempre yung mga brand na talagang high-end or talagang kilala na when we talk about yung ating growlights. And in my case, I'm using the Mars Hydro. It's really one of those brand na top of the line. There's no question about that one. Pero syempre meron din naman tayong mga cheaper version nitong ating ginagamit na growlight. Pwede po ba siya itanim pagkahiwalay ng mga bagong baby niya na may roots na kahit hindi na air dry? So for this one, ito na yung ating Fedschenko. Yung dun pa sa pinaka dulo yan. If for example you are planning of separating nga itong kanyang offsets and replant it sa kanyang sariling pot, then you have a choice of air drying or not air drying them. Sa akin kasi sometimes I don't really do air dry na sa kanila. I just immediately transfer them and that would be okay. But it is always best if we will be air drying them before replanting. I cut it off my super balm, then leave it dry for 2 days. But I think it's still not callus, or it didn't callus yet. I water propagated for 2 days already. Oh no, what should I do? I'm afraid. As much as possible after beheading our succulents, we need to let them callus over for about 5 to 7 days before we can finally water propagate them. If we will not let it dry completely and put it in the water, then we might be expecting that our succulent might rot and eventually die. I have here, for example, this one is not a super balm, but this is Napoleon's hat. And kung mapapansin ninyo, masyado na siyang malaki. Yung mga old leaves niya natanggal na as it grows, and it has this very long na stem. Kaya what I'm gonna be doing right now is try to behead it here. Ayan, in this area. Ayan, masyadong matigas. Ayan, finally. Ayan, for this, we will let it dry and callus over then. And for this one, we will also let it callus over before natin siya ilagay sa tubig. When beheading succulents, before or after watering them, there's no specific na time when we will be beheading our succulents. If I have plans of beheading my succulents, I just do it in between my waterings. Ano pong pinagkaiba niya sa ghost plant? May binili po kasi akong succulent at hindi ko po alam anong type siya. Kamukha po siya ng reset ng Prolifica and ghost plant. So here in front of us, this one is how our ghost plant would look like. They have these bigger leaves as compared to our Prolifica. This is our Prolifica. Ayan, so we will be having side-by-side comparison of how they would look like, and you would really see the big difference. Smaller ang ating mga Prolifica. Although, if we will try to look closely nga naman sa kanilang shape ng leaves, they look the same. It's just about the size nga na magkaiba. Sa mga merong Prolifica dyan, if you try to smell yung inyong succulents, this one has a very sweet scent. If you have a clavatum, ganun na ganun yung kanyang scent. Isa ito sa mga favorite ko na kahit na malayo ka or you're just standing in front of it, you would really smell yung kanyang scent. It's also one of those succulent na I'm trying to avoid to apply any fungicide. Kasi sayang naman yung kanyang scent, and it will be very dangerous for us if you keep on sniffing or smelling itong plant na to and it has fungicides on it. So I really hope na hindi siya magkaroon ng any fungal infection so that we don't need to apply nga yung ating mga fungicides sa kanya. Sir, question po, ano possible mangyari kung after cutting ghost plant, nilagay po agad sa soil? So just for example, this one is our ghost plant or any succulents. After nga natin siyang i-behead, we can transfer it immediately, or pwede na natin silang itanim agad sa kanilang soil. If your medium or soil mix is dry, then kahit na hindi pa siya nagkalos, you can immediately transfer it na ganyan. But you don't need to water it for the next 7 or 14 days muna. But again, as we mentioned, it would always be best or safest nga na magkalos over muna siya before we can immediately transfer it doon sa inyong soil mix. So ganito ang itsura ng inyong beheaded na succulent once it's already kalos over. Ayan siya. So this one, it's still very fresh. Nakikita nyo pa yung parang pagka-green sa kanya. But this one, it turned into this parang dark brown na color na. So which means na completely nagkalos na siya. Can I behead succulents that are newly potted, wala pa established na roots? For this one, I don't suggest na you would be beheading your succulents right after or if it's newly potted, kasi nga, as you have mentioned, there is no established roots yet. It will be more difficult for your succulent to adjust and be more stable once you would be beheading it right away. It's always about giving our succulents more time to be stable, kasi once they are already established or stable nga, we can easily propagate them anytime. And that's all. If you have more questions, you can just simply comment it down below and we will try to answer it. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You may also visit our Facebook page at Desert Succulent PH.